right, in this video, we're going over the new top 5 best classes to use here in Season 5 Reloaded. We have a couple of weeks before Season 6, the last season in Modern Warfare 2's life cycle, so you have very limited time to secure your first MGB nuke. Let me know down in the comment section right now, how many nukes, if any, do you guys have? Because I believe these class setups will help you guys out. If you guys enjoyed the vid, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and let's get into it. Now, for the first class that we are taking a look at the CHIMERA, man. This is a solid assault rifle, still a part of the meta here in Season 5. Now, for the first attachment, we are going to rock that Bruin Flash script. This is a great attachment on this weapon, giving us increased sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed. Now, for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more sprint to fire speed at negative 0.19, and do not forget, we are going to be tuning the aim down sight speed at negative 0.71. Now, we are going to rock a stock, and the TRX56 stock is going to be the best choice here. There are a lot of good attachments for this weapon, but we need the increased recoil control and aiming stability. Now, for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim walking speed at negative 0.77 and aim down sight speed at negative 3.23. We're skipping the optic because these are irrelevant. We're skipping the lasers because this is not going to be a class that utilizes a laser. And for the barrel, we are going to rock that 10-inch SA Phoenix to further increase that range, bullet velocity, recoil control, and hip fire accuracy as a very nice bonus. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim down sight speed at negative 0.13 and aim walking speed at negative 0.16 here. For the muzzle, we are going to rock that good old Polar Fire S. This does a bunch of pros in increasing that bullet velocity, damage range, recoil smoothness, and obviously, we are going to have that sound suppression so we can run on their spawn, live a quick and easy streak, and drop those nukes. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing more bullet velocity at plus 0.77 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.99. Now, we're going to be skipping over the underbarrels, the ammo, and we're going to jump right to the 45-round magazine. This is one of the assault rifles you do not have to rock an underbarrel, so we have an open attachment slot. When you go ahead and jump in the firing range, you're going to be very happy because the CHIMERA is going to be a rifle that has a quick ADS, and it's going to have controllable recoil, so definitely go ahead and feel free to run this weapon and dominate with it no matter what map you are playing on. Now, for the secondary, we are going to go ahead and rock that F-Tac Siege, but we are going to be transforming this pistol into a submachine gun. We're going to be using the SIR 160 rear grip. This is going to be drastically increasing that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And we are also going to be going ahead and tuning it, allowing us to have even faster sprint to fire speed at negative 0.32 and more aim down sight speed at negative 0.84. We are going to rock that 72 round drum. This gun is a melt machine, has a fast fire rate. We need as much ammo as possible. We're going to jump right over to the barrel, and the NST-81 is going to be phenomenal, giving us that sound suppression, hip fire accuracy, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control here. Now, for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more damage range at plus 0.23 and aim walking speed at negative 0.27. This is still a pistol, so having increased range is going to help us out a lot more as opposed to aim down sight speed. Now, we are going to rock a laser because, again, this is a pistol, so we can go ahead and bump up that ADS, stability, as well as sprint to fire speed. All these other attachments here are not going to help us out. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim down sight speed at negative 44.42 and sprint to fire speed at negative 0.06. And then finally, we are going to go ahead and rock the wire stock to kind of transform this pistol into an actual submachine gun, giving us walking speed, recoil control, as well as sprint speed. Now, for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim walking speed here at negative 1.32 and aim down sight speed at negative 1.94. Once you go ahead and jump in the firing range, this is going to be a class setup that literally is going to handle like a submachine gun and overall be an absolute melt machine. So definitely go ahead and give this a try here. Now, the nice thing about the F-Tac Siege is you actually don't have to tune these attachments if you don't want to. You can simply equip them and go crazy. Main of the setup is going to be the stun grenades, the proximity mines, and for the perks, we do have on double time scavenger, resupply quick fix, as well as the field upgrade set up for munitions box, as well as dead silence. Overall, a nice class setup. The CHIMERA and the F-Tac Siege combo is definitely one of the best classes to use in the entire game. Now, for class setup number 2, we are going to go ahead and run it with the FR AVANCER here. This is going to be a great gun, very underrated here in Season 5. People sometimes say they don't like this weapon with this class setup, I'm definitely going to change your mind. Now we're skipping over the rear grips, we're skipping over the combs, and we're going to jump right to the stock, and we are going to rock the FR Sprinter to drastically increase aim walking speed as well as sprint speed, overall giving us some more mobility and increasing that close to medium range handling here. Unfortunately, we can't tune this. Now we are going to rock an optic. The iron sights are okay, but having that Kona Mini Pro is going to be a better option, giving us a blue dot sight, making everything a hell of a lot easier. Now for the tuning, all we're going to do is increase aim down sight speed at -1.74. Now we're skipping over the lasers, they are irrelevant. We're gonna jump to the barrel, and we are gonna rock that long bore barrel, so we can go ahead and bump up that medium to longer range capability here. We have damage range, hipfire accuracy, as well as bullet velocity. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim down sight speed at -0.23 and steadiness at +0.29. Now for the muzzle, the Komodo Heavy is going to be phenomenal. Definitely go ahead and equip this if you want an overall badass class setup that's going to have little to no recoil. Horizontal recoil control, that's all we need, because vertical is literally non-existent. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more recoil control at +0.33 and stabilization at +0.72 here. Now for the underbarrel, the Commando foregrip is going to be a phenomenal choice, going ahead and smoothing out that recoil pattern, giving us an incredibly easy to use assault rifle. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim walking speed at -0.37 and stabilization at +0.72 here. Going ahead and jumping the firing range, you're going to see that this class setup is seriously going to be a melt machine. At quick ADS, this thing is going to have very, very little recoil. Definitely go ahead and give this class setup a try. I think you guys will definitely enjoy it. Now for the secondary, we are going to go ahead and rock the good old FTAC Siege with the SIR 160 rear grip, the 72 round drum, the NST 81 barrel, the DOT 70 laser, and the Siege wire stock. Remember, tuning is not necessary on this weapon. We are going to utilize the stun grenades, the proximity mines, and for the perks, we do have on double time scavenger, resupply quick fix, and for the field upgrades, we have pro enabled with munitions box and dead silence here. Overall, a nasty class setup that you guys cannot go wrong with. Definitely go ahead and give this a go. Now for setup number 3, we're going to go ahead and run it with the KASTOV 762, the good old AK-47. This is definitely one of the best assault rifles in the entire game. Arguably, probably hard meta here in Season 5 after some of the buffs and nerfs that we did receive. Now, we are going to utilize the True Tac Grip. This is going to be increasing sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more sprint to fire speed at -0.16 and aim down sight speed at -0.45. Now, for the stock, we are going to utilize the KASTOV Ramba stock. This is overall going to be a fantastic attachment on this assault rifle. We're going to have increased aim walking speed, sprint speed, and for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim walking speed at -2.09 and aim down sight speed at -1.55. We are not running an optic. These are completely irrelevant. We are not running a laser. These are also going to be irrelevant, but we are going to rock a barrel, and the Socken KL is going to be phenomenal, allowing us to have increased aim down sight speed, movement speed, as well as hip recoil control. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim down sight speed at -0.35 and recoil steadiness at +0.48 here. This is overall a phenomenal class setup you guys are going to absolutely love. Now for the muzzle, the SA-1155 is going to be a great choice for removing any and all recoil with this weapon. Definitely go ahead and give this a go. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more recoil control at +0.26 and aim down sight speed at -0.59 here. Now for the underbarrel, the FTAC 56 is going to be a great choice for this AR, because we're going to be simply smoothing out that recoil pattern, giving us aim out of stability, hipfire accuracy, as well as recoil stabilization. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim walking speed at -0.34 and more recoil stabilization at +0.57. Overall, a fantastic attachment tune combination, because once you go ahead and jump into the firing range, you're going to see here this class setup is capable of 2-shot kills to the head, and overall it's going to be a very controllable assault rifle. Definitely go ahead and give this a try. Do not sleep on the good old AK-47. Now, for the remainder of the setup, we are going to go ahead and rock that FTAC Siege. Again, same attachments as always. SIR 160 rear grip, 72 round drum, the NST 81 barrel, the FGX DOT 70 laser, as well as the good old Siege wire stock. You do not have to tune the attachments on this secondary. We are going to be rocking the stun grenades, proximity mines, and for the perks, we have on double time scavenger, resupply quick fix, and for the field upgrades pro enabled with munitions box and dead silence. Overall, a great class setup you guys cannot go wrong with. You guys are going to absolutely love this and potentially drop your first MGB nuke running this weapon. Now for setup number 4, we are going to take a look at an SMG, and the ISO 45 is going to be very, very solid here. I like to call this weapon the Silence God gun. This is going to be another iteration of this weapon that I do like to go ahead and run with. Now for the rear grip, we are going to rock the EXP shear. Overall, a great attachment on this SMG, giving us increased sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed. Now for the tuning, we are going to be going ahead and increasing more sprint to fire speed at negative 0.23 and recoil steadiness at plus 0.90. Now we are going to rock a stock, and the demo fade tack is going to be a great choice. The cheetah is also a good attachment, but for ease of use and overall just handling, this is going to be good, just giving us what we need: aim walking speed as well as sprint speed. Now for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim walking speed at negative 1.16, and do not forget that aim down sight speed increase at negative 3.87. We're skipping over the optics. These are not going to help us out for this specific build. We're skipping over the lasers. These are going to be irrelevant, and we're going to jump right over to the barrel, which is going to have an integrated sound suppressor courtesy of the 16-inch XLBS. Now we are also going to be taking advantage of increased bullet velocity, recoil control, as well as hip fire accuracy. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim down sight speed at negative 0.30 and recoil steadiness at plus 0.27. The muzzle, obviously we have this restricted because we have it integrated, and we're going to jump to the commando foregrip, which is going to be phenomenal, smoothing out that recoil pattern. Now for the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim walking speed at negative 0.35 and stabilization at plus 0.62. Now, for the magazine, we do have on the 45 round drum. Overall, a great choice to this weapon. Definitely go ahead and give this a go, because the more bullets, the more people we're able to take out, definitely when running and gunning. Once you go ahead and jump in the firing range, you'll be very happy. Here we have a class setup. Overall, going to be belt machine, and the recoil is going to be very, very manageable, which is a huge W. Now, for the setup, we are going to be rocking with the F-Tech Siege. Again, same attachments as always. SIR 160 rear grip, 72 round drum, the NST81 barrel, the DN70 laser, as well as the good old Siege wire stock here. Now, we have on the stun grenades, the proximity mines, and for the perks, we have on double time scavenger, resupply quick fix, and for the field upgrades, we are going to be rocking with munitions box and dead silence here. You're going to love this class. It is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely go ahead and give this a go. Now, for the setup number 5, we're taking a look at kind of a wild card build here. This is definitely a solid AR that I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on, and you definitely should not be sleeping on this weapon. Now, we're going to be skipping over the rear grips. These are irrelevant. We're skipping over the combs, and we're going to jump right over to the stock. And the Bruin MX9 stock is going to be phenomenal for this weapon, allowing us to have that increased crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and much needed aim down sight speed. For the tuning, we are going to be increasing more aim walking speed at negative 0.70 and aim down sight speed at negative 1.55. This is going to be overall a badass attachment on this weapon, allowing us to compete against M4 and TAC-56 users. For the optic, we are going to be rocking the Cronin Mini Pro here for that additional help with the blue dot sight. Overall, a great attachment for this weapon. Now for the tuning, all we're going to be doing is increasing more aim down sight speed at negative 2.52. Now obviously we're skipping over the laser. These are irrelevant for this build, and we're going to jump right over the barrel, and we're going to rock that 20-inch Bruin S620. Overall, a great attachment on this weapon. You are going to love this. Is going to be drastically increasing damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, as well as recoil control. Everything we need to go ahead and compete against M4 and TAC-56 users. Now for the tuning, we are going to be bumping up more aim down sight speed at negative 0.28 and more aim walking speed at negative 0.29. We're almost going to mirror this to go ahead and take advantage of more close range handling, because we already have long range locked down with this attachment. Now we are going to rock the Echoless 80. Overall, a great choice, giving us that sound suppression. We can get behind the spawn, build a quick and easy streak, and overall have increased bullet velocity, damage range, and more smoothness as well. For the tuning, we are going to be bumping up bullet velocity at plus 0.81 and aim down sight speed at negative 0.86. Overall, a great attachment and tune combo. And then finally, we are going to rock the Commando foregrip. We're smoothing out that recoil pattern, giving us a very easy to use STB 556 class. For the tuning, do not forget, increase aim walking speed at negative 0.12 and aim downside speed at negative 0.77. Going ahead and jump in the firing range. Another class that's going to have respectable ADS and overall very controllable recoil. A very solid assault rifle, if I say so myself. Now, for middle build, we are going to be going ahead and rocking the FTAC Siege. We have the SIR 160 rear grip, the 72 round drum, the NST81 barrel, the DH70 laser, as well as the good old Siege wire stock. Again, tuning is not necessary. This weapon is good to go right out the box. Now, we are going to be rocking the stun grenades, the proximity mines, and for the perks, we have on double time scavenger, resupply quick fix, and for the field upgrades pro enabled with munitions box and dead silence. Overall, an amazing class setup you guys cannot go wrong with here. This is going to be something you can use to get your first MGB nuke. These are going to be the top 5 best class tips to use right now here in Season 5 Reloaded. If there are 2 class tips I want you guys to check out immediately, give the CHIMERA a go. This weapon is rock solid here in the Season 5 Reloaded update. And also go ahead and give the STB 556 a go. I feel like people are not giving this weapon the clout it does deserve. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, man. We have a couple of weeks before Season 6, and we'll be gearing up for MW3. Deuces.